Hey everyone, I hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome back to another Web Dev Junkie video. So someone sent me an email and asked if I could explain this CodeWars problem. Basically, this problem is how do you print all the permutations of characters given like a set of characters. So in this example, if you're given like AABB, you need to print out all the different ways you can build up a string with 4 characters using all the characters in that input string. And more specifically, he sent me a little picture of this section, which is the recursion part, and said, could you please explain only this part? So again, this is recursion. If you look here, you look closer, this is a for loop that's calling a function called permutations. And that function happens to be named the same function that we're in. So this is a recursive function that keeps on calling itself until it figures out the solution. So I would highly recommend that you go learn up on recursion or read up more on recursion to try to understand it. But I'm going to try to walk you through a simple solution for this problem to hopefully explain it from a different perspective. So I'm going to try to break this problem down using just comments right now, and hopefully you can kind of understand the way this is working. So the solution for this problem is a recursive problem that basically loops over all the characters that are available, picks one, and then it recursively does the same thing again. So to kind of walk you through that, if the process is pick one character and then recursively call itself on the remaining characters, you could pick, for example, A, you could pick B, you could pick C, oops, or you could pick D. Autocomplete's killing me. So what I'm trying to get at is inside of this function, this recursive function, you probably have a for loop, right? And it loops through all the characters and finds the ones that you haven't used yet, right? It finds the indexes that are remaining and it tries to use it, or it skips over it and uses the next one. So if it were to take A, that means that the remaining characters are B, C, and D. Okay, so the next time it does a recursive call in this path, you have to select either B, C, or D, and you can continue to do that. So in this case, you could do A and then select B. You could do A and select C, or you could do A and select D. Right, and the same process is going to happen to like all these different paths here. You can do B, select A. You could do B, select D, or you could do B, select C. I put those out of order on accident. So, and as you can see, at some point you're going to end up getting all the characters, right? So this should be ABC at some point, and then it's going to take another path that does ABCD. So basically, you are going to keep on looping over the available characters that are left. You either take that character or you skip that character. And then if you ever get to 4 total characters, you know that you're done, okay? That's kind of your base case of the recursive solution. Let's try to implement this out really quick and see if I can achieve this. Hopefully this isn't too hard. All right, so to solve this function, what I'm going to do is make a helper function. So I'm just going to make a const helper, which is going to take in a couple of things. It's going to take in the current word that we're building up. It's going to take in remaining characters. And then it's going to maybe take in an integer called like selected characters and remaining characters. We can kind of refactor this down the road, but what this permutations top level function is going to do is just call that with a couple of things, right? It's going to pass in current word, which will be an empty string, because we're going to build up these words. It's going to pass in the remaining characters, which can be string. It's going to pass in selected characters, which, you know, we probably don't even need that one actually. Remaining characters, I don't know if we need that either. Let's just start with these two and see how hard this is going to be. So what this helper is going to do, if I return this, is it's going to basically loop through all of the remaining characters. Okay. And it's going to get the character. So const char is equal to remaining characters of I. And then we have the option to either take that character or not take it. Okay, so I can call permutations on that. So I'm going to do current word plus the character we just picked. And then remaining characters, you could basically slice that away or splice that away. I'm trying to figure out what the easiest way would be to basically take that string, but remove that index that we just used. So I'm going to just go ahead and try to do like substrings on this. I'm going to say like take away is equal to remaining characters dot substring of 0 to I. And then we're going to append that to remaining characters substring of I plus 1. think that should remain it, or take it away. So this will take everything from the starting index to I, which I think if you do 0, 0, that'll take nothing. And then it'll append it with the rest. So I plus 1 would be 1. I think this should work. I don't know. We'll figure this out. And then we're going to pass that into that recursive function. So basically, we're going to do a loop over ABCD. We're going to take a character and then recursively call this function with the remaining characters. We rename that to remaining. And then the first argument is like we're building up the recursive call, okay? So what we need to do, because this is going to infinitely run, is we need to check to say like if the current word, or actually if the remaining characters length is equal to 0, then we don't have any more characters to grab. So we could probably just return current word. So current word is going to return, let's just say an array of one word, okay? And then this is going to basically put all those into a words list. And then I could just say the results of this is going to be words is equal to ... of words ... of permutations. Okay, so that'll basically just combine the two arrays together, and then we could just return them down here. Hopefully that works. Yeah, so let's run this. We're probably gonna run into a lot of issues. How do I even run this on here? Oh, there's a big green red button here. All right, so let's just read over this one more time. So we call a function, we pass an empty string, and then we pass in the full list of characters that we have access to. We check if we have none left, then we are obviously done. We've reached that end of the permutation path, and we need to return the word that we just built out. Otherwise, we make a new array. We loop through all the characters of remaining characters one by one, and we check basically by taking that character out of remaining characters and also taking the character, we build up a new word and we call a recursive function call with that here. Okay, so current word plus char and then remaining. Yeah, let's just run this and see what happens. Unexpected curly brace. So I do have a missing curly brace somewhere. I don't know where. Let's see. Helper. Okay, right here I forgot the fat arrow function. Let's try again. All right, so obviously this is not working as we intended it to work. So let's try to figure out what's going on here. So this should hopefully be getting down here. So let's just print out like current word and see what happens. And it's never actually getting down there. So let's go and loop through. We go through every remaining character and we get the character. Why is that? It's not even getting. Oh, okay. So in my for loop, I don't have my glasses on. So obviously I'm missing some reading. I need to do a length, right? I need to loop over the length. And I think what I can actually do is I can say const char of remaining characters. I believe that's how you could potentially just loop through it a little bit more cleanly. No, but I think we need I. So let me just undo that. All right, let's try this. Maximum call stack. All right, so the issue is I'm calling permutations again. I need to call helper here. So that was a silly mistake on my part. If I run this again, we should be making progress. I need to make this a let. This tutorial is horrible. Sign constant. Where is that happening? Okay. So I think let me just undo some of these console logs so I can clean this up and kind of walk you through what I'm doing again. All right, here you go. You got all the permutations. So a quick overview. That was kind of I got caught up on some bugs, but hey, that happens. So again, we have a function called permutations, and that's going to call a helper function. Okay, so the helper function is what's really going to do the recursive call by calling itself helper. And the thing we pass to it is we pass in the current string we're building up, and then we also pass in the characters that are left to pick from, okay? So the base case of this recursive function is we check if there's no more characters left to pick, then we're done, right? We picked, in this case, we picked 4 characters, we just return it back with an array. Otherwise, we need to make a new array and loop through all the characters of remaining characters and just pick one. Okay, we got to pick whichever one out of the 4 or 5 or 3 that are passed in. We pick one, and then we recursively call again with that one character at the index removed. Okay, so that's what remaining is basically doing. We basically take a substring that's going to remove that character at that index, and then we recursively call helper again, passing the remaining characters. And then we also pass it the word that we're trying to build up. So if you remember down here, we picked A. That means it would be just passing like an empty string plus A here. And then we get down here, it's going to be A plus B because we picked B. And then finally, basically when this thing is returned, we're going to combine the words together into a big array and then finally return that array. So as the recursive function goes up the tree and finishes its call stack, we're just going to combine all these words together into one giant array and print it out. And that is what you're seeing here. That's basically it. So I hope this little video wasn't too confusing to the person who emailed me. I've ran into a couple of snags and hopefully you learned something watching me debug them. But if you enjoyed watching this video, give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down if you didn't like it. Also leave me a comment below if you have a different possible solution you can use for this. There's like 100 different ways you could probably solve this problem, but I think it all boils down to recursively picking a character or not picking that character. And then finally, if you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe because I'm going to have other videos like this where I kind of help other viewers out with teaching them various things that they're running into. All right, thank you so much for watching and have a good day.